So many people are noticing that there is a push from progressive sources to erase women. And what I mean by this is when you see a medical journal, The Lancet, refer to women as bodies with vagina, you start to wonder what is wrong with these people? Why are they afraid of women? Because they seem to have a phobia. It's just bizarre. It's ridiculous. Birthing people is another example of a politician, left-leaning politician, calling women as birthing people. And you have various entertainment companies and gaming companies that are drawing women like men. At first, they started by covering them up as if they were ashamed of them, like having some digital Sharia where they needed to cover all the female characters all the way up to the neck. But now they're not satisfied with doing that. Now they're literally just changing the bone structure and the facial shape in order to make them look androgynous or in order to make them look like a man. And the recent controversy comes from the new League of Legends Netflix. And there are people who are upset for two reasons. Number one is because they covered Jinx's chest. Now, Jinx is one of the most difficult characters in League of Legends to cosplay by women because she's got no boobies. And the reason she's got no boobies isn't because that's what the artists originally wanted to do. It's because of years after criticism from a very vocal minority of the player base complaining that most girls in League of Legends have breasts. I'm not kidding, like they actually did this. Now what's interesting is that the market wants women with breasts. Because if you look at League of Legends, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but it needs to be said, okay? Because I'm sick and tired of moral busybodies and people afraid to cover this conversation just because they're ashamed or something, right? If you look at the skins that are being sold, and you watch what other people play in games and what skins they're buying, lewdness sells. I know it's shocking, a gasp, sex sells. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you're a teenage guy, it's healthy to like lewdness. It's perfectly 100% okay. And don't allow moral puritans to shame you and make you think otherwise. Because the ideology that these people are pushing is that if you happen to like what you're supposed to like, you're going to end up perpetuating rape culture and whatnot. But anyway, the main point is that a couple of people were whining and they were complaining until the League of Legends team went like, okay, fine, you know what? Here's a woman, 0 breasts, most difficult character to cosplay in the entire League of Legends roster. There's nothing there. There is absolutely nothing. And you know what? I don't mind. I mean, if you have one character like that, it's fine. The only time I mind is when all characters are like that, because it starts to become a little bit bewildering. You think like there's a titty cancer epidemic that has hit there, like for example in Marvel comics, right? But no, like I'm talking about one character, that's fine. And I don't mind the fact that they covered her chest. I mean, in game view, you don't really get to see her character up close, so it's one thing. But here it's a Netflix adaptation, you know, mommy and daddy needs to watch it, so it's okay. The thing that I am upset, and many people are upset, is the art style where her face looks like a little boy. She looks masculine, and I don't understand why. I mean, I remember when I saw her trailer the first time and I saw her face, I was, damn, she's cute as a button. And that actually plays on her entire character. Because yeah, she's cute as a button, but she's also crazy as hell. She's a psychopath, but she's cute. You know, it sends conflicting messages, and I kind of like that. I thought that was part of her appeal. But you know, like, say what you want about Jinx, then you get to look at Vi, her sister, and like, again, it's like a little boy. Why are they doing this? Look how Vi looks in game. I mean, do these people not know how to draw women anymore? You're supposed to make round shapes. You're supposed to not have hard angles. I mean, Vi has a jaw that she can cut diamonds with. I am jealous on the strong jawline that Vi is having. Can I have that? Because that looks awesome on a man. Would look awesome on me. But instead, you get to see this. And people ask me, like, what do I think? I don't know. I mean, it's too early to tell. It's a warning sign, don't get me wrong. It's like a symptom, like someone coughing up a little blood. Doesn't necessarily mean they have cancer, but you're a little bit worried, you know, because I thought League of Legends is the only show that they can't mess up. There's already diversity in it. They're not going to woke watch characters. You're not going to see the Netflix adaptation. Like it's already progressive, so it's keeping with the lore. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm really upset about, is when they break immersion. It's like when they wokeify a character just for the sake of wokeifying so that they fit a checklist or something, and it breaks immersion, and I don't like that. But they can't do it in League of Legends because the characters are already diverse. And instead you get thrown with this. It's like, yes, the characters are diverse, but let's make women androgynous. Let's make women look more masculine. I think that they stopped knowing how to draw women. They just can't at this point. I don't know, like maybe they don't get out. Maybe it's the pandemic and the quarantine that these people got isolated from society and don't see women in their life anymore in order to take as an example on how to draw. I mean, all you have to do is to Google Vi or Jinx cosplay, and you see actual women that are cosplaying, independent people, not part of a corporation or anything like that, and they're cosplaying. And they look far better than whatever Netflix is putting out. And I get it, you know, like there's this move to remove sexuality from everything, because I guess the Christians are back in charge. Maybe they're behind the shadows, the evangelicals, and they're like, oh, we can't have any sex appeal anywhere. Let's make sure that there's no sex appeal here. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's that. But it seems that Netflix is really good at making sex appeal when they're releasing the movie Cooties. That's the only time they do it. If it's children involved, then it's fine. But if it's something that is marketed for teenagers, it's a game that teenagers play, and most teenagers overwhelmingly prefer sex appeal, then it's like, no, let's get rid of it. And now it's like, let's erase women as well. Because that's what I'm saying. It's not about the fact that they're not sexy. Because I get it. You know, like they're trying to make an origin story, so they're younger. All right, fine. Okay. But why do you change the bone structure? Why do you draw the women and you make them look like young boys? Do you like young boys this much? I don't know. Like, is Netflix becoming the Catholic Church? Maybe that's where they're going. And I don't know why they're doing it, because it's obviously bad for business. I mean, again, you look at what skins people buy in the game, and you kind of get a picture. But what I want to say is that there are shows out there that are kind of bad, but the aesthetics is what keeps people in. For example, Avatar. Like, I know a lot of people that say, well, the Avatar story was kind of bad, but I went to the cinema and the 3D and all of it was done so well and was so spectacular. I love the aesthetics, like I would go again. So you can actually get people to watch if you have great aesthetics. But I guess Netflix doesn't care about that. They're probably very confident on their writing team. I mean, when you think about Netflix, you think about legendary stories, epic moments that people remember years after they've seen the thing. So I suppose there's that. Like, Netflix is just so confident in their writing staff that they're like, you know what, we don't care about the aesthetics. We don't care about sex appeal. We don't care about any of that teenagers are interested to. We're just going to, I don't know, erase women for no reason whatsoever. Like, just bring the androgyny. Hey, bring the bucket of testosterone and get Jinx's head in it. Get her in the testosterone too. So yeah, to me, again, this is like a warning sign, because usually when I see the wokeness in art, the stories are also bad. The whole thing is bad because the people who are doing the wokeness are doing it because they're not talented. If they were talented, they wouldn't be doing the wokeness. This is my personal observation. Like, usually when you have wokeness in something, the whole thing is bad. Try to give me like a couple of counter examples where you have wokeness but it's really good. This is, like, you can find a couple, but they're very rare. Very few. So yeah, I mean, I'm really concerned because I wanted to watch this. I mean, I love League of Legends. There's a lot of great lore in it. And I'm a little bit worried now that I'm seeing the warning signs. The dog whistles, if you will. You know, at least there's always anime. There's always that, so I mean, it's nothing new. I've been watching anime up till now. I guess I can watch it a little bit more. I would love a social experiment, though. Like, maybe have a game where you have two versions of the game. You have the original, where the women are suffering from androgyny and the sex appeal is removed. And then you are charging $20 for people to enable the sex appeal. And it simply replaces all the textures with anime girls. How many people do you think would actually pay money for the same game just to have the sex appeal put in? I would love to see that experiment. Because every time you're complaining about it, like people roll their eyes and they go, ugh. But the ones that are rolling their eyes, they're ideologically possessed. Like, they're probably not even interested. They're spiteful people. They're not even fans. They probably don't even watch this. Because I remember last time I was talking about what's happening in the Marvel mangas, and I was pointing out the exact same problem. And I had people go like, ugh. And I'm like, okay, what Marvel comics do you read? Oh, I don't read Marvel comics. And it's like, well, then why the fuck do you have an opinion on it? Why do you have an opinion on it? These are the same people that spend their entire life watching Twitch and watching OnlyFans. And they defend McQueen whenever someone criticizes her. Or points out that what she's doing is literally exploitative. The corporations is exploiting someone's daughter in order to get someone's son to pay bits to see a picture of her cleavage. And everyone's going, oh my god, you're misogynist, you can't say that. It's like, that's what's happening, isn't it? Why aren't you complaining about that? Like, that's real life women. You know, like, all of this is to, I guess, like, change the mindset of boys to like realistic women or something. But I look at the realistic women on Twitch and OnlyFans, and I said this many times because I think it's a great point. Never in human history have we seen so much fakeness. Filter, Photoshop, revealing clothing, makeup, and surgical operations. How much do you need? Like, those are independent women. They're not like being forced by a corporation to do that. They do that themselves. And yet, that's fine. But if I ask, like, can you just stick to the lore? Just can you make a character that looks like what I'm seeing in the actual video game? Apparently not. That's too much to ask. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.